Hi guys, it's Adrian here again. Well, as you can probably tell and read from the title, this is about Sonic 1 again on the Mega Drive, Genesis. I'll try and keep it short and sweet today instead of waffling on too much. It's about Sonic 1, as I said. I'll tell you the whole story. I'll wrap it up quickly, but I'll tell you the whole story. A couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about recording the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Mega Drive OST on an audio compact disc, a blank burned CDR. And if you've watched a lot of my previous videos, you'll notice that I'm into the audio CD format, and I upload a lot of my video game music on music CDs, and I stream them through the Mega CD. Well, what I was trying to do a couple of weeks ago was just record the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 soundtrack. Not that I didn't have the Sonic 2 soundtrack already. I have it on another disc, but it's mixed with Sonic 1. It's mixed with the Sonic 1 soundtrack, so it's sort of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 together on the one disc. But this time I just wanted to focus on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 alone. So I got out a blank CD and I was all ready to go, and then I thought wait, just before I start recording Emerald Hill and onwards from the sound test, I thought I'll just quickly go on the net and see if there's any other ROMs I can find of Sonic 2 where the drums are clearer, because as some of you may or may not know, in the original Sonic 2, the drums are not as clear as what they are in Sonic 1. They're pitched a little bit high, slightly higher, especially you notice it a lot with the snare drum. That doesn't bother me or worry me. It's just in some tracks in the sound test that the snare drum in particular is a little bit scratchy, a little bit morphed and distorted. You notice it I notice it in tracks like Hidden Palace and the Sweet Dream ending track, and the two Dr. Robotnik boss tracks. They're the four tracks I noticed it the most. So anyway, just before I started recording, this was about 2 weeks ago now, I went on the net and I went searching forums, I went searching SSRG and Sonic Retro, and lo and behold I actually found one. And it's this one. It's Sonic 2 with Sonic 2 Clone Driver V2 in SMPS 68K mode. Now, what that is a few guys have got together and they've modified the Sonic 2 Clone Driver, because the original Sonic 2 Clone Driver was V1. This is V2, and not only that, but the original Sonic 2 Clone Driver ran in, it was controlled by the Zilog Z80, where in this one, V2, it's controlled by the Motorola 68000, the big master chip. So that's one of the big differences, and it was put together by a few people. At the top of my head, I know Marky Jester was one. He helped put this clone driver together, this mod, I should say, of the Sonic 2 Clone Driver. Who else was there? There was Valley Bell was another one. Who was the other guy? There's a few others, but there's three I know off the top of my head. It's Jester was one. Who else did I just say? Clownacy was another. And Valley Bell, that's it. They're the three off the top of my head. There was a few others, but they helped put this driver together. And I'll just quickly show you. Even though this video is about Sonic 1, honestly I'm getting there. This is the Sonic 2 Clone Driver V2 or V2.5. Now you probably can't notice any difference right away, and it doesn't help that I'm talking over the audio, but when I show you the Sonic 1 hacks, or ROMs I should say, I won't talk over the audio, so you can have a good listen and judge for yourself which one you prefer. But this is the Sonic 2 ROM that's using the Sonic 2 Clone Driver V2. God, this is confusing. Now the drums are very, very clear in this new clone sound driver. You probably can't tell, but the drum samples and the record scratch there, they're pitched a bit too low. I know it was pitched a little too high in the original Sonic 2, but here in this ROM, using this driver, it's pitched a little bit too deep, deeper than Sonic 1. Sonic 1's original SMPS 68K driver. And some of the PSG notes are out of tune for some reason on this driver. See if you can hear it here. Yeah, something doesn't sound right there in Oilation. Something sounds off. See if we can detect it if I just put PSG on. Are you there? Something's not right. Anyway, it's not really important to the video, so I'll just get out of here. But that's the Sonic 2 one. Now, back to the story. I'm trying to get through this quickly, honest to God. After finding the Sonic 2 one, I found not one Sonic 1 ROM hack, but two that use fix the audio for 50 Hertz. Now I found these with the Sonic 2 one. I found them all in Sonic Retro. One of them is identical to the Sonic 2 driver that you kind of just heard. This one is Sonic 1 with Sonic 2 Clone Driver V2. Again, it's SMPS 68K mod, so it runs in 68K. And the other one is even more interesting to me personally, is Sonic 1 with Sonic 2 Clone Driver V1 in SMPS Z80. So this one is the original Sonic 2 driver, so it'll sound like Sonic 2, so it makes Sonic 1 sound more like Sonic 2. You get that slightly higher pitched snare drum that Sonic 2 originally had. The drums are not quite as clear as what they are in Sonic 1, and then with this one you've got extremely clear drum samples, clearer than even in the original Sonic 1, but the drums are pitched a little too deep, the samples are a little bit too low, and the PSG, man, I don't know what's up with the PSG, but the PSG, you get those out of key notes every now and then. So I'll just quickly show you now. I'm going to stop talking, I'm going to fire them both up, I'll go through the sound test, I'll do a little bit of gameplay, and you can see for yourself the differences. This is particularly good for people like me, or you know, gamers that still have a PAL Mega Drive and they don't have it modified for 60 Hertz. Well, at least now we all know that somebody did attempt to make a fix, and a successful fix, in my opinion. And now you get, you know, the music's optimized in 50 Hertz. It's, as you say in quoted commas, it's fixed. So it will sound exactly like it does in 60 Hertz. Yes, you still get the borders, you still get the slower, the slightly slower floatier gameplay, but at least the music is totally fixed. So no one can say, oh, you know, that comment that I despise so much, put it to 1.25, put it to 1.25, it's too fucking slow, put it to 1.25. Oh. So anyway, I'll fire it up now and you'll hear for yourself. Okay. Okay, so that was it. That was the demonstration and the test with both ROMs. So I know which one I prefer. I honestly prefer this one, the Sonic 1 with Sonic 2 clone driver V1. I know it runs in Zilog Z80 instead of 68K like the other one, but at least you don't have to worry about out of key PSG notes. The other one had the PSG was out of key in certain parts of the music. So yeah, but there was little differences with the two. V1 has higher pitch samples, and the samples are not quite as clear. Yet V2 had very clear drum samples, but they were pitched way too low, way too deep, and you just got that out of key PSG here and there you have to put up with. Oh, and also I don't know if you noticed, but the drums faded in and out on this one where they didn't on that one. So that's all I wanted to tell you guys about and show you. You know, I'll put a download link in the video description for you guys, so you can download it. So before I finish, I just want to say, if you do, whoever is interested in this and wants to try these ROMs out, you know, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to put the download link in the video description. They're still up on the internet, so you can always download it. But when you boot it up on your emulator or on your Mega Drive Genesis, if it's modified for 50 Hz or 60 Hz, these are really for them. You benefit more from 50 Hz than 60 Hz, because 60 Hz, well, they were fine to begin with, weren't they? But 50 Hz Sonic 1 had originally had slower music, which I personally still prefer, but that's just my take. But that's irrelevant here anyway, because it's just there's two different ROMs, and somebody made a fix, and these ROMs have been around for several years. I know that the V2 version has been around a long time, you know, more than the other one. But back to what I was saying, if you fire these up on an emulator, if you don't want the slow music, you have to boot it in 50 Hz. You know, it's no good booting it in USA or Japan, you know, 60 Hz, and then flick it over to 50 Hz Europe, because then music's going to go slow again. Now, the funny thing is, if you do it the other way around, if you boot it in Europe PAL 50 setting and then switch over to USA or Japan, the music's going to have a seizure. It's going to have an epileptic seizure. It's going to be so fast. It's going to be twice as fast. So, you know, just make sure you have it on the right setting. You know, because there's a lot of dumb fucks who make these comparison videos. I've seen one with Sonic 2. Not so much Sonic 1. Sonic 1, it doesn't matter if you flick it from 50 Hz or 60 Hz. You're going to get the difference, because that's how it originally was. But with Sonic 2, see, it was optimized. And there's at least one video I can think of floating around on YouTube where the guy stupidly booted it on the USA setting, on the 60 Hz setting, on his Mega Drive. I think it was a modified Mega Drive. And then he flicked it to 50 Hz, and then the music to Sonic 2 went slower. It went 17.5% slower or whatever. And, you know, people were saying that's not how it originally was. You know, it's like, that's not a fair comparison, because it wasn't done properly. You gotta flick it. You gotta boot it on 50 Hz to show how people are, to show people what it was like. You know, how it was really like, and then you turn the power off and you turn it on again, and you boot it on the 60 Hz to show the difference. But you're doing it while the power's on. You know, the frequency gets fucked up. So yeah. So yeah, these ROMs have been around for a while. I know V1, the V1 ROM was, which was the original Sonic 2 clone driver. That one's been around for quite a while, I suspect. It was probably around in the days of Tweaker. I hope he had nothing to do with it, but if he did, he did. The other one I know is probably, the other one was probably developed around, probably, I'm guessing 2014 or 2015 from the forums I was reading, because it was a newer modified clone sound driver. So that's it. And just to go right back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video, after I discovered these ROMs, I still recorded Sonic 2 soundtrack from the original Sonic 2 ROM, even though the drums were not as clear as what I wanted them to sound like, because I figured that having out of key PSG notes was worse. So I just kept it the way it's always been, and I thought maybe if I tried different ROMs I could get a slight different sound, but it didn't work, you know. I actually recorded the Sonic 2 OST from Knuckles in Sonic 2 ROM and the stage select cheat, but it ended up being exactly the same. So me personally, I prefer the original Sonic 2 clone driver V1 over the newer V2. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to stop it here. As I say before, the links will be in the video description. You can try these out for yourself. Now, you'd think with a video like this it would end the 50 Hz and 60 Hz debate on Sonic 1, but it's not going to. I know that. You know, there's still going to be people doing the 50 Hz, 60 Hz comparisons between PAL and NTSC with Sonic 1. They're going to show us 100 times that it was slower in PAL region and it was faster in NTSC regions. Like, we don't know that already. It's like when idiots put it to 1.25. Like, we don't know that already. Like, you see that on so many videos. It's like, you know, give it a rest. You know, this should be the end of it. There's a fix now. Somebody made a fix. It wasn't publicized very well because majority of the community didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. I only just found this out not long ago. It's actually good because us PAL 50 Hz gamers, we got a choice now. We can play it with fast music and we can play Sonic 1 with slow music like it's always been. There's actually more benefits to having it in 50 Hz. Yeah, okay, you still got the borders, you still got this slightly slower, floatier gameplay. But so what? You know, at least the music's fixed. Alright, I'll stop it there. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.